Hello. Well, tonight we're going to have beef stew, but a fella named Mark asked me to give some of my venison recipes, and I told him the problem is that I use venison wherever I would use beef. So I really have no recipes per se that are venison. I know there are those out there. I just use it like beef. So I'm using venison in this, but we'll call it beef stew. This is a really easy recipe. As you can tell by now, I really major on easy. I have here 1 pound of stewing meat diced. We save some roast back and something we call shish kebabs, odds and ends of meat. But this is a pound, and 2 pounds just seems to me to be too excessive. So I'm using a pound, and remember with the venison, none of it cooks away. What you have is what you have. So I'm using 1 pound of stew meat diced. I've got some oil here, 2 tablespoons, because I'm going to brown that. Then I'm going to have 6 cups of beef broth. These are 3 medium spuds diced. It's supposed to be a green pepper, but I have some in the freezer because I've cut them up ahead of time. That is 1 yellow pepper diced. That is 1/2 of a cup of onion diced. And that is 1 cup of celery diced. That is 4 carrots sliced. And this is 1 bay leaf. Now the flour is here because I'm going to thicken it up a bit later on when it's done. So let me get the oil in here and let this get warmed up. It's kind of odd, but sometimes you need a little more oil when you use venison because it is so dry. So lean, I should say. Okay. Let me get this over where you can see what's happened, where all the magic is happening. There we go. Okay, I'm going to add my venison. I'm going to brown it. You just want to brown it. There we go. If you want to use 2 pounds, use 2 pounds. You know, I found with this COVID-19 staying in place thing, my cooking is a little weird. One night we had porterhouse steak, baked potatoes, the steak was done on the grill, eggplant, and a big tossed salad. The next night I say, hey Martin, I got some frozen onion rings and something else. You want that? So it seems to go way up and down. Let's get this browned. Now I'm going to bring this to a boil. I've already added the beef stock. All the rest of the ingredients goes in except for the flour. Here go the potatoes, the celery, and now you're going to cook this. Let me get out of your way here. You're going to cook this until the vegetables are done. The recipe says 2 hours. If that's what it takes, 2 hours. If it's less, you can do that because the meat's already browned. There we go. Everything goes in except the flour. And that includes the bay leaf. So I'm going to bring that to a boil, and I will turn it down to a simmer and cover it and let it simmer for a couple hours, maybe not even that long. Doesn't that look good? I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of my recipes do not include a lot of spices. The food really does the talking. I like to say, let's let the food do the talking. I may add a little salt to this and pepper. We love pepper. So let's let this cook. We'll bring it to a boil. There we are, coming to a boil. I went to get this lid to put it on, and Martin had warned me, when you make a video, it shows every dirty thing. So I looked at this and it had all these water stains. We have hard water, and this, in fact, I'm doing dishes now. This is the dishwasher, so I really have to be careful. I hope that's clean enough for you. I'm going to turn that down and I'm going to let it simmer for at least 1.5 hours. Okay, I've taken out my bay leaf. It's been 1.5 hours. The vegetables are tender enough. So now I'm going to thicken this a bit because otherwise it's soup. So if you want a stew, you want it a little thicker. This is always so tricky to do in front of you guys because if I do it wrong, I end up with lumps. But we'll see what happens here. I'm living on the edge, let's put it that way. Okay. I've turned up the heat again a little bit. And you're going to thicken it to whatever thickness you like. Lots of leeway there. There we go. It smells really good. And I did add some pepper. We really like pepper. And I always assume there's enough salt. Even though I get low sodium, there's enough salt in the broth. Okay, just a little more. And I'll show you the difference. Not quite there, but see, that was pure liquid before. Now you've got a nice thickened broth. I think that may be enough. Let me bring this up again. I'm stirring it fast so you don't see if there's any lumps in it. There. This is going to taste so good. Nope, I think that's good. That looks really good. Next thing I'll do is taste it a little, see if I need to add some more pepper. And we're good to go. Well, dinner's ready to be served. It was about an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes. I had thickened it, and it smells and looks really good. I forgot to tell you, we're going to have baking powder biscuits too. Now, one day, about 4 years ago, I was in a grocery store, and for 45 years I've been making baking powder biscuits. And I was walking down the aisle, and look what I saw. And they taste really good. So yes, we're having baking powder biscuits. I've also had questions about Martin and how he diets since he eats this stuff, but all you'd need to do would be to follow him around for 2 days and you'd know how he can go through this. And a little tip, when he was a little boy, he had so much energy he would run around and around his little farmhouse. Well, it was a big farmhouse. He had a path worn. And then when his dad was in the fields, he would run behind the tractor back and forth up and down the field. So if you want to diet like Martin does, there you go. Then you can eat all you want. Well, I hope you enjoy this. It's very easy. Just cut up a few veggies again. Give it a try. If you're home, especially if you're stuck at home now because of the shelter in place, and I don't even know if I want that in there.